Hi, I'm Terrell Turner, the host of the Business Talk Library, and today I have another great guest on. And as you all know, my background is accounting and finance. And one of the things that I liked about Peter's background is that he used to work at Xero. And so if you've done any type of bookkeeping or accounting, Xero is one of those systems that you're familiar with. And when him and I were talking earlier, and he talked about, pretty much a lot of the features that you've used that you really enjoy and like, he was all over those. Now, if there's some features that you think need some improvements, that was someone else on the team. So definitely want to welcome Peter to the show. Welcome, Peter.
Hey, thanks for having me. And that's totally true. I love building accounting products, and no, in all truth, I've built everything good and bad. So,
Gotcha. Well, we're here to talk about, your new business, TallyFor. And before we jump into TallyFor, can you tell us a little bit more about your background before kicking off TallyFor?
yeah, thank you. My background is I was a CPA, no longer, and I was in accounting for a good 10 years, doing financial reporting, audit, and taxes. The whole gamut of what a CPA does. And then I kind of moved into product development at Xero, and that was really fun. It was great because helping to build new products in the cloud, that was exciting, and it's definitely changed the way small businesses kind of run their finances. So it was exciting to do that. And that's what I'm doing now. And now I'm doing that for taxes, a very exciting place to talk about.
I mean, it's a very timely, topic because a lot of people right now, I mean, we're in what, February, early February, so people are working through their taxes. They're trying to figure that out. I mean, there's so much there, and one of the big things I think that people struggle with is, they have their accounting done in some type of accounting system. But if that accounting system doesn't communicate with the tax software, I mean, it becomes a huge headache. So kind of what's the angle that, or the, I guess you say, the pain point that TallyFor solves?
Yeah, so Tally4, we're building a cloud-based platform for business taxes. So what that means is your 1040, I'm sorry, see, I just said the wrong thing. The 1120, it's not the 1040s, it's the 1120, the 1120S, and the 1065, the partnerships. So we're building a cloud platform for the tax professional to kind of handle that. It's like QuickBooks Online or Xero, but for the tax professional. So it's kind of that last piece of the data that's not in the cloud yet. So we're building a cloud platform for that.
Gotcha. Now, I guess I'm very curious. How did you go from being a CPA to working in software development?
Oh, I was very fortunate that I was following. Yeah, it's really fortunate. I feel very lucky to have kind of moved into product. It was back in 2012. I'll date myself. Um, I was just I was just checking out what was available online for accounting. And I was helping a friend with a startup, and we were like, "Well, can you send me your file?" And we're like, "Wait, why?" So I just kept an eye on Xero and then when they came to the U.S., I actually ran into someone at a at a hackathon, and he was from Xero, and I said, "Hey, I want to join." So it all started from there. So I was very fortunate. It was a great experience.
Gotcha. Now, I guess, did you have prior experience with like software development, or did you kind of just learn it all once you got to Xero?
Uh, well, I luckily come from a kind of technical family. Um, I'm not a programmer, but my brother's a programmer, and he's also the CTO of TallyFor. So I did have more of a background knowing about software and things like that. But no, I did learn a lot about how the product is built, how to kind of understand what the end users would like to see. So it was learning on the job, and that's the exciting thing about being in a startup. And it's really about building the right software for the customer, and that's a lot of fun. It's hard, but it's fun.
Hmm. Now, I guess with that, that journey of, like I said, understanding what the customer needs, what was that process like for you and with TallyFor? It's like, how did you go about getting like customer feedback to know that, hey, you were on the right path?
Yeah, it's a long process. It's a conversation, I like to say. It's talking to tax professionals. It's asking them about what their challenges are, listening to them, getting into the nitty gritties of what are the actual things they're doing that may be manual. So, for example, today they may be keying in numbers from online accounting into a tax package, and it's like, wow, you're still doing that today, and why are you doing that? You're getting, or maybe they complain about carpal tunnel syndrome, and they really have it, and and then it's finding out what the real the barriers are to kind of moving to the cloud, or even being a more happy professional.
Mhm. Now, I guess with your experience with working with cloud, software and cloud products, have there been any, I guess you say roadblocks that people have mentioned or discussed that you've seen to be a common trend?
Well, technology sounds great sometimes, but it's actually sometimes harder to adopt it. It's harder to kind of work new technologies into a workflow. Maybe workflows have been around for a while, and kind of adopting the new thing is sometimes difficult, or convincing people of the benefits. Um, that's one challenge, I think. Um, and that's part of the fun, I think, of building a new product and selling a new product, is showing the end customer the benefits of a new way. But that is something, everyone has their habits. I have mine, and you got to kind of bust out of your shell a little bit.
Hmm. Gotcha. So with that being a roadblock for a lot of people is that, learning to adopt a new technology or to incorporate something new in their process, what was it about Tally for that kind of helps, people get over those roadblocks a little easier?
Yeah, I think I have this, I call it a 2-minute demo. And what used to take about 2 hours, like getting the file and, making the adjustments and putting it into the tax return, sometimes takes 2 hours. And in my demo, it takes 10 minutes.
Wow.
So yeah, that's the mic drop moment where it's like, oh. So fortunately, I can show that, and it's wonderful, because it's just such a good moment, because all that time normally spent, doing something a machine should do, now the professional can go spend time with their kids. Maybe they're working from home, they're doing it on the cloud now, or maybe they want to grow their business and they now have extra time to find new clients or to talk to clients that they already have. So it's the value's there, and it's really fun when they go, whoa.
I guess what were the responses like the first time you showed somebody that?
Yeah, I have some good quotes. One is, one customer's like, I've been waiting for you for 15 years. And I felt, oh, thank you. Uh, Another professional actually said, I'm looking forward to tax season.
Oh wow. That now that is a new one when a person says I'm looking forward to tax season.
Yeah, and it's genuine. They're like, wow. And they're happy. They want to get started, and they kind of want to move the data along and help out their clients.
Mhm. It's one of those things that I tell people, being a CPA myself, now I don't focus on tax, but I tell people a lot of times, when I talk to other CPAs, like they know that tax is a very lucrative part of their business. And typically when someone's like, yeah, I'm going to make a lot of money this season, they get very happy. But, when I talk to CPAs who do taxes, like they know they're going to make money, but they're dreading it.
You're spot on. Oh yeah, and it's because they have a deadline. The deadline on March 15th or April 15th is stressful. They have to do 100 returns, 150 returns, all due on one day. Just imagine the stress. So I feel for them, and I know why it's so stressful at this time of year. Right now, it's busy season. So
Gotcha. So now, as you start to, build out the brand for Tally for, what's been the way that you've been introducing accounting firms to the software, or how have you been getting the message out about it?
Yeah, our tagline is be right, have fun, and from anywhere. And it kind of embodies our values. Being right is the job. You have to accountants and tax professionals. The numbers are the numbers, and it means a lot. The lifeblood of your business is the money, so you can't get that wrong. The be fun part is actually, I want to make taxes fun, which for some people it's fun. For most people it's not. So um, we want it to be fun, or at least less painful for the professionals dealing with it. And then, of course, from anywhere, now that everyone's working from home, it's even more important to have the right kind of platform and tools to be flexible. So approaching firms, they get it. And yeah, it's getting in front of them, and then they understand the story right away.
Gotcha. So if there's a firm that is interested in the Tally for product, or getting a demo, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you, or how do they find you on social media?
You can go to tallyfor.com. I have these t-shirts. If you contact me, we will send you one, but that's how you spell TallyFor. Um, and you can also email me at peter@tallyfor.com. And love to schedule a demo. Takes about 20 minutes to show you the product and let me learn about their tax practices, how they run things, what products they're using, and we can start with a conversation from there.
Awesome. Now, one of the things that you find interesting in when it comes down to taxes, like there are updates being made or changes being made each year. How is the development team at Tally for keeping up with those, or how frequent do updates happen?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's definitely a challenge. It's extra. That's our job. That's what we have to do. Um, and this past year was more challenging because of all the loans, the PPP things. Um, so for us, it's always staying abreast of what's changing and if it affects our product or not. Some things don't, and some things may or may not. Meals deduction is one of them. Um, the 50% meals deduction, or non-deduction, I should say, and then it's changing in the next years. So it's very important to stay abreast of that. We will do our part on the software, but for the small business, talking about it with their CPA, their tax professional, that's a great way to stay abreast of that as well.
Mhm. Gotcha. Awesome. Now, I'm curious as to, the name of the product and the name of the company. Like, how did you come up with the name Tally for?
Yeah, thank you for asking for that. My brother and I just brainstormed a lot of things, and it came out a couple ideas. We were called Tax Hub because we kind of connect accounting to tax, and we are also neutral player, meaning it's not just for Xero or QuickBooks Online. It's not just for certain tax packages. It's really a hub. It's a place where many data can come in and go to different places. So that's the concept. But the name TallyFor was a little more fun, and we can play around with that name, and we like it. So I hope you like it too.
Awesome. Now, you mentioned that the product is not just for Xero. So, what other products or platforms does Tally4's solution integrate with?
Yeah. If you're a total accountant or geek, we're really a cloud trial balance product. So we're that central database for accounting. A trial balance is a ledger. You may have heard of a Bitcoin as a ledger. So Bitcoin is actually accounting. So we're kind of that core database for accounting. So to answer your question directly, we can take data in from many sources, including Sage 50, Intact, Excel, QuickBooks Desktop, QuickBooks Online, and we can ingest almost any kind of financial data, and then we help the professional prepare that for the tax return. So we want to be as many to many as possible.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I mean, with all of that, I mean, such a great journey. I mean, such a, an amazing, history of working in the cloud software space, developing and building out a company of your own. One of the things that I'm curious about is as you think about all that, what are two things that you've learned kind of in your journey that you think would be impactful for other business owners?
Yeah, let me think about that. First of all, it's a challenge. It's not easy running your own business. Running your own business, having a startup, or doing things yourself for yourself is challenging on so many fronts. Financially, morale, you're working 24/7, literally. Well, maybe you take a couple of hours to nap. I was joking before the call, right? I didn't know what day it was today, and that was kind of true. So that's a challenge. I think to help overcome that challenge is to find people that support you and your vision. And it may take a while to find those people. Some people may not get it. They're busy with their own thing. But that's important, I think. Knowing that challenge is there and then knowing a way to kind of, mitigate the challenge and kind of overcome the challenge. I think that's really important. So asking for help is always great. Finding partners, collaborators. So I think that was one. I forgot the question.
No, it was really about, what are two pieces of advice that you think that would be impactful for other business owners?
Yeah. And yeah, I think also having a plan, at least in your head initially, of what needs to be done. Of course, plans always go awry, and having another plan or a plan for the plan, for a plan for the plan to go awry is important, not only for your organization, but to communicate across people you meet, and to kind of uncover any opportunities that might come your way. So I think that's important.
Awesome. Well, Peter, it's definitely been a pleasure of having you on to hear a little bit more about, your personal story and, the journey you've been on from CPA to cloud software to now, leading and developing TallyFor. So thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure having you.
Terrell, thanks so much. I love your videos, and I think the finance and accounting information you're getting out there is great. So I'd love to be on again, and let's keep talking about taxes and let's make them fun.
Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in to the Business Talk Library. If you like our content, be sure to follow us on social media. And if you want to see more of our exclusive content, you can subscribe and become a member on patreon.com/Business Talk Library. Hey, the Business Talk Library is the place where business makes sense.